Doesn't matter.
Okay, so I have given you advice on be attractive and don't be unattractive in previous years. The whole count calories, workout, that will make you look better, right?
Yes, sir.
I've done the gentlemen, think of yourselves as bears approaching a hiker, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And I've talked about the catastrophically shitty numbers about dating. How women are overwhelmed, how men are in a desert, etc., etc. Those are unhappy numbers. I am, yeah, crowd's getting a little thin because these fuckers are leaving, but I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be participating in this next bit anyway. So, there are currently 25 to 50 people in this room?
Yeah,
I don't know, rough estimate. So, I don't know that this will end happily, but, okay. I'm going to run what I hope will be more positive numbers. Again, until I say this next question is for the audience participation, 0 of what I'm saying is going to require you to participate, but it'll be a show of hands. Hands up, everyone in this room who, if someone of their preferred gender that they found attractive walked up to them and asked them out, they would go on a date. So open, relationship, single, etc. Hands up. Okay, that is like 3/4 of the room. Higher, Paige! your boyfriend is like, oh, all right! Okay, keep the hands up. So, in a room of like, it's probably less than 50, but let's say roughly 50 people, we've got literally 2/3 at least, maybe 3/4 of the people with their hands up, okay? Now, okay, you can put your hands down for a minute because your arms are going to get tired. Now, we're going to talk about what my numbers look like, right? Because we've done it in the past where I've gone like, okay, hands up if you're willing to be asked out, whether it's yes or no. And we've gone, nope, 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 haha, laugh, walking out, nope, 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 nope. And I've had some years where it's 100, like it's 100% nopes, usually with a small room at Aurora. But yeah, nope, 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 nope. And then I've had a yes, and at least one, I think, 2 years that yes has then flaked on me the next week. Pain in the ass, but I was showing in those years the demonstration of this is how many no's you have to be willing to hear a yes, and that apparently has been helpful for some folks. So this year I'm going to try to do a slightly different, more cheery number. So 3/4 of the people here are available to date possibly someone. That doesn't mean they're necessarily willing to date anyone or any particular one. So let's narrow the field. Hands up if you're open to dating men. Okay, we went literally from 3/4 to 3. You're married with a child, or is it? What? Okay, are you?
I'm single.
Well, in that case. Okay, so let's try that again. Hands up if you're interested in dating men at all. Okay, hands down. Hands up if you're interested in dating women. Okay, that would explain a bunch of fucking male weaves. So clearly in this particular audience, that question filtered out the majority of the possible options because there's a lot of sad, lonely weaves out there. I want to emphasize, maybe not in this room, but in general, there are women at this con. Okay. The odds of this working in my favor are getting lower for this demonstration. Which is fine, I'll explain that in a bit. But, okay, there were maybe 5 people with their hands, let's call it 5 people with their hands up for the last question. So we went from, let's say, out of 50 people, 40 people available, 5 people interested in dating by gender. In many other circumstances, that number would be larger. But of those 5 people, put your hands up if you don't mind dating someone who is an atheist. Because that can be a killer. Of the people who put their hands up about being okay with dating men, put your hand up if you're okay with dating an atheist. There we go. Okay. Which I mentioned because there have been some people I've asked out, and they're like, yeah! And then they were like, what church do you go to? And I'm like, so, it's fine. You're allowed to have, like, I only date Christians. Okay, or Muslims. Okay, that's fine. But we filter, right? So we're showing the numbers for me. So for, fingers crossed, a cheerier number. Okay, I will be 40 next month. Put your hands up if you don't have a problem with that. We've got 1, 2, thank you. Okay, that was the one I was expecting to eliminate the most people. Because people are dicks and they don't want to date me just because they think my dick's old. Funny story, we're going to pause the audience participation bit. Yeah, my dick's not actually old. It's not that it's newer than the rest of me. It's that when you run marathons, funny story. So, what does the dick fill with when it's erect?
Blood.
No, semen. No, blood. It fills with blood. Blood is pumped by what?
The heart.
The heart. Right. Cardiovascular training trains what?
The heart.
The heart. I'm going to be 40 next month. How do I...
You work your dick out.
No, it's like this. So in the past year, I finally did get laid. Hooray.
Was it a furry?
No.
Did they wear a fedora?
No. Not that. So the thing I want to emphasize is that after it's just a fuck buddy, right? We're not like in a long-term relationship, and both of us are actually like we get along, but we're going to social events to find long-term relationships. We recognize that we have fun in bed, but we're not like a girlfriend and boyfriend thing, right? But one of the conversations that we've had was okay. The thing she said in response was, no, most guys don't do 3 rounds every single night. And I was like, what? What the fuck is wrong with their dicks? And she's like, you run marathons. And I'm like, right. So, and I may have mentioned this in previous years, but fat cells produce estrogen. And muscle cells produce testosterone. So I spent decades being super fat, right? Still male, still like, I didn't have a high squeaky voice. Still had testosterone going on. But the balance of estrogen to testosterone in my system was higher on the estrogen side because of the weight, right? Fat cells produce estrogen. I lost a bunch of weight, added a bunch of muscle, which meant that the amount of testosterone compared to the amount of estrogen in my bloodstream changed significantly. I'm not saying I have the body of a 20-year-old. I am saying that there are 20-year-olds who dick softer and less than I do. I'm not saying that therefore people should want to date 40-year-old me. I'm just saying that 20-year-olds, if your dick goes soft, fucking work out, okay? Like, you've got like a +5 compared to me on like dick skills. Just natively, because you're 20. Work the fuck out, and just be like, okay, it'll be a little frustrating if you don't have a fuck buddy or a girlfriend or something, because you're going to be walking around with constant fucking nail drivers all the time. Like, and not just nail drivers, right? I'm out running, right? I'm like, oh boy, 20K, I'm going to run for like 2 or 3 hours, well, 2.5 hours. Running. On a Saturday in the morning when everybody runs.
Freeze.
No, that's not the problem. When you're running, you're using your leg muscles a lot, and one of the 2 or 3 guaranteed ways to kill a boner, even if your boner wants to be a boner, is you flex your leg muscles, and your body's like, oh, we need more blood here? So if you're running, boner off, guaranteed. But not testosterone off. So I'll be running, right? And I'll run across or behind or catch up to a woman. Or occasionally a thin guy in tight spandex. And I'm just involuntarily, I'm not the one going, oh boy, I want to do this. My brain just like, well, actually my dick is like, telegram for the brain. And then my brain's like, hey, you know what? We should catch up with her. No. And throw her on the ground and rip her. And right? And I'm like, boner, you're not even active yet. And my balls are like, well, we fucking are, and we're full, and this is the solution. Fuck her. And I'm like, so vivid sexual fantasies. And they only last like that long, and I'm like, running, focusing on pace, right? So what I'm saying is, if you, going back to the kink thing, if you like older guys, don't be ashamed. I'm not saying anybody here. I'm not saying, oh, you didn't raise your hands because you don't want to fuck me because you're ashamed. No. I'm just saying in general, as advice, because I know some women who are like, I like older guys. But if they say that out loud around older guys who are single, most older guys who are single don't run marathons. And the older single guys who don't run marathons and come to conventions like this are more than a little creepy some of the time. Yeah? Many of them are very nice and decent human beings who are not trying to fuck 16-year-olds. But some of them are trying to fuck 16-year-olds, and it's not okay.
I'm sensing a story.
No, I'm staff at Otafest, and I have seen more dudes at 45 trying to fuck 16-year-olds than I really want to. Not too often. Otafest is fairly safe. It's just like, anyway. So the thing is, if you're into a thing, don't be ashamed to admit that thing even to yourself, right? And don't make assumptions about someone's sexual interests or proclivities based on their appearance, because I have heard it on good authority, with no proof, that there are public figures in Calgary who are totally into BDSM dungeons.
Is it Nenshi?
What are the secretaries?
Well, like, they actually go to BDSM dungeon parties, either far away or wearing a mask or whatever. Like, but because of our culture and the way it is, they present a very clean-cut, well-shaven, nobody's whipping anybody with anything, good Christian boy persona. It's their job, I don't mind that. But our culture is sort of like pushing down, like, no, you're not allowed to like older people or younger legally aged people who have their own sexual agency, and you're not being a predator. Or boys or girls or multiple people of whichever gender or being spec or whatever. Like, just do your thing that makes you happy, okay? So back to the audience participation thing. Hands up if you are interested in men who don't mind you don't mind them being atheist, and you don't mind them being 40. I know there, okay, one there, yes. And I think you had your hand up as a sort of an iffy thing. Okay.
Oh, the age thing.
What?
The age thing, at least.
The age thing, yeah, okay. Only the combination. Is there anything else I should warn people about?
Do you smoke?
No. Oh, good point. That is a thing. I actually did actively not date a girl that I otherwise wanted to date because I'm fucking allergic to tobacco. I don't smoke, so that's not an issue. But yeah, good thing. And again,
allergic to any pets?
What?
Allergic to cats or dogs?
I do have a cat. I am not allergic, but if you would swell up and die if you walked into my condo because it has a cat in it, I can understand you're not wanting to come over and fuck in my condo. Or not fuck in my condo just to hang out. That's okay too. But anyways, point is, yes, I have a soft gray cat. His name is Fitz. He is wonderful. If you don't have a problem with that, put your hand up. And you're into men, and you don't mind atheism, and you don't mind guys over 40, or 40-ish. You're allergic to cats? Okay, so I think, hands up if you meet all those things. I think that's 0 people. Okay, that is a less cheery number than I wanted to demonstrate to you, but, okay, let's back that up one more time. If I didn't have a cat, hands up if you would be willing to be asked out and say yes in public by me.
With all that being said, the 40, etc., etc.?
Yes. No, okay, that's fine. Okay. We're not going to push that. There was enough hesitancy. Okay, if we had twice the number of people in here, so we had one person who, despite all of that, was willing to say yes in public. Okay? If we had a larger, so that's out of, let's say 50 people, one person would have been, yep, let's do this. Now let's run those numbers. If I started asking from here and worked my way back, I would have to work through 50 people before, statistically, judging by this population, I'd get a yes. There are 8,000 attendees at Otafest, more than that this year, okay? Which means that, what's 8,000 divided by 50?
Wouldn't it be 400?
400? Which means, probably, because this is a small sample set, but it's a sample set, probably there are 400 people at this convention who would be willing to say yes to a date to me. Now, this doesn't mean that any person I walk up to is likely to say yes. In fact, 49 out of 50 times, they'll say no. But let's think about this. A quarter of the time, they'll say no because they've already got someone they're dating. Okay? Roughly 60% of the time, they'll say no because they're not into dudes. Which, okay, neither am I think. Although there's a cosplayer in Edmonton called Kedia Cosplay, and I think he's 17, maybe 18 this year.
18.
But so brilliant cosplayer, right? Does I think Earth Chen and Fenris from ReZero, right? So brilliant trap, and I came across Kedia Cosplay's photos on Facebook, I think. And my first thought was, God damn, I want to fuck that. And my second thought was, is that a guy or not? And my third thought was, no, I don't care. I still want to fuck it. At which point I realized where on the, what's the scale called? The data streets? The, what? Kinsey scale. Kinsey. I realized where exactly on the Kinsey scale I land. And technically it's called heteroflexible because there is at least one male on the planet that I'd be like, yes, let's fuck. But the rest of you motherfuckers, too much hair and fat, I'm sorry. But the thing is, right, so if I go out and ask randoms, I'm going to get a no 98% of the time. 98% of the time. I'm going to hear no. If I just walk up to random people and say, hey, you want to go out? I'm probably actually going to hear that 100% because cold opens are not, you know when you get a call from a telemarketer, you're like, fuck, right? It doesn't matter if they're selling like golden plated blowjobs, you're like, I fucking hate telemarketers. So walking up to randos and just cold opening, maybe one of them, they're probably a little crazy, would say yes. But actually, if you are willing to do a demonstration bit, just keep your seat, but we will do a demonstration bit shortly about how to not do a cold open. But there's the thing. So while it may be true that I would have to go through 49 no's in this room to hear a yes, and I would have to go through 49 no's just asking random people out there to hear a yes, if I asked everyone here, I would hear 400 yeses from people that wanted to date me or someone like me, okay? Specifically, if I was shirtless and ripped, that number would probably go up. If I was 25, that number would definitely go up. Most of you, I think, are in a better position age-wise than I am, so capitalize on that. So if you're, okay, given that approximately 3/4 of this audience is single males, you may think that you are nobody's type and that you're single because you're unwanted. And okay, you're weebs, so yeah, but does anybody here know who NG Knight is?
Yep.
She's the female cosplayer who did the dancing Supergirl video like 2 years ago. Like super fuck hot. Last week she posted an Instagram of herself without makeup and about a sort of body positivity thing, where she said when she looks in the mirror, all she can see is, and I quote, cellulite and her potato face. And I'm like, literally 1 million people actively want to fuck you. And all she can see in the mirror is cellulite and a potato face. Like, Jesus tits, woman. So, like, on a Reddit thread I read recently, there was a female poster who, and I'm speaking mostly to the males because, again,
Blank stare in his eyes. Should've given up on the ones I trust. Never should have been surprised when they shot him down. Cold blood to the ground.